connection speed slows down every time another person logs on. With a new Net Zero 4G device.
What's that relationship going?
Chevy on your end of it. 14 going fast.
My life is full of screens. They're everywhere. In the checkout line at the supermarket, there are screens flashing stuff at me. When I go to put gas in my car, there are screens on top of the gas pumps. In almost every restaurant, there are now dozens of TVs mounted on the wall. Even at church, screens show announcements and song lyrics and giant videos of the pastor. The worst part is, they've infiltrated my house. I don't just mean the TVs or computers we own. In fact, we used to actually pride ourselves on limiting our TV watching time. But in the past 9 months, we've joined the smartphone movement, which means that all my children now have their own little handheld screens they carry around and look at all the time. When they have their friends over, they sit around and stare at their phones, totally engrossed in what's on those screens. They don't even talk to each other. Mike, the guy filming this video right now, and our producer and editor and all-around walk-the-way superhero, told me a story last week. A few months ago, he came to breakfast without his phone. His then almost 2-year-old son noticed and said, "Daddy, where's your phone?" When Mike told him it wasn't with him, the son got up from the table, ran and found the phone and brought it to his daddy, because he was so used to seeing his daddy carrying around his little screen. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a screen hater or a technology puritan. I know these tools have added to our lives in countless ways and have opened up all kinds of new opportunities. But I often wonder if we've really taken the time to think about the effects all these screens are having on our lives. I'd love to say this is just another example of an age-old problem. It's an issue we've been wrestling with for decades, but it's not. This is a new problem. And while it may seem silly, I think it's essential that we think about this as Christians. All these screens, as powerful and wonderful as they are, often amount to nothing more than distractions. We can be in the same house, or the same room, or even at the same table with someone, and we're still distracted by all the stuff coming at us from a screen. This distraction keeps us from being fully present with each other. And being fully present is the building block of authentic personal relationships. It says to another person, "I care enough to focus on you, to be with you, to be really with you." I'm just as guilty. I've been taking stock of my own interactions with others, and I realize that screens distract me too. That means I really don't hear what someone is saying, I really don't see them, and I'm not totally with them. And think of all the relationships in my life that need my full attention. I already know that screens have changed my relationship with my friends. What about my marriage? Does my wife get my undivided attention? How about my kids? Can I even pray without wishing I was looking at my phone? Or being distracted by the latest Facebook post or tweet or Instagram picture or game notification? It's not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about before, but it's a pretty important question. How is my relationship with God affected by all these screens? Now, this is usually the time I turn the corner, so to speak, offer you some sound biblical advice, challenge you to deepen your walk with God, or encourage you to put your faith into action. But this week, I'm on the journey with you. I don't have an answer, only this. Our family's about to embark on a vacation and an experiment. We're heading to the Grand Canyon. It's one of my bucket list destinations. My wife and I have decided we're going to tell our kids they have to leave their phones at home. And oh yeah, we have to leave our phones at home too. For 4 days, we'll be together as a family with no handheld screens to look at. We're calling it a screen fast. Like all other biblical fasts, the point isn't just to get away from our technology. Instead, we want to see what giving up our screens enables us to do. And these are the questions we're wrestling with. How will this change our vacation? What will our kids do? Will they look out the window, fall asleep, or maybe talk to each other? Will we even know how to relate as a family without our screens to stare at? I'll let you know how the screen fast goes. In the meantime, maybe you can wrestle with some of these questions too. How are digital distractions affecting your life? How are they changing your relationships with others and with God? Do you think you need to put down your screens more often? Or maybe plan a fast from them? What would happen if you did?